nervous. I've just got a new appreciation for our Imam Adam, who comes up here every Friday and just makes it up on the spot. I'm sure he doesn't just make it up on the spot. I'm sure he's been thinking about what to say for the whole week. But to us, it just seems like he's there without any notes, speaking inspirational words, and I can't really do that. So I've prepared some notes for myself. When I get nervous, my thoughts can jam up a bit, so hopefully it will make sense. First of all, I would like to say, can anyone hear me?
Can you bring the microphone a bit forward?
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, Assalamu alaikum, I should say. I would like to say that this place, CIC, is a wonderful place, and it has brought much benefit to my family and to myself. And this is really thanks to all the hard work and the sincere effort of the people who, every time I come here, I don't come here, that frequently, but every time I come here, there are the same faces here, fixing light bulbs, preparing meetings, preparing gatherings, putting programs together, and I'd like to say thank you to all those people. And I'd like a special thanks to Ahmad who took the first step here to get this place going. It's a very special place to me. I feel a little uneasy speaking about Islam amongst an audience of Muslims, when I know very well that I don't know much at all. As I progress through life myself, the more I think and I reflect, the more I come to feel that most of my thoughts are just conjecture, basically, just guesswork. This may be a little bit of an odd story, my journey to Islam, maybe not what you're expecting. It's not really a linear narrative that I'm going to be giving to you, but just a collection of thoughts that came to my mind today. I only found out yesterday I was going to speak, so I prepared something today. So I hope it's okay. Please don't think that my journey to Islam has any universal features. Indeed, no one may relate to it. I could tell you that I was searching for the truth, and through fortunate circumstance, the truth became evident, and I seized it. But that would be too simplistic, and really it's not the truth. As humans, I know that we love narratives. We love stories which bring together disparate events which seem not to make any sense and put them together in some coherent story. And I feel if I were to give you a narrative, maybe which is what you were expecting, it might not do justice to my true journey to Islam. In my opinion, narratives are usually pale reflections of reality. And I believe that human beings are very complex creatures, and we can't simply squeezed into some narrative, even if it sounds good. Now, you have all had your own journeys with Islam, not just myself. I mean, yes, me and Paul, we converted, but everyone here has had a journey with Islam. Even Paul's dad is having a journey with Islam through his son. So we all have our journeys. Mine is no more special than anyone else's. I was just asked to speak, so I hope you get some benefit anyway from my story. I think that if we take the time to reflect, we will realise that faith, anyway for me, it's not black and white. And maybe I'm wrong, but for me at least, I have lived my life in the grey areas of life, both before Islam and after Islam for me. Islam, this beautiful religion, is a door that you can walk through. That is very true. And Paul walked through that door a few months ago. But Iman, that's our faith in God, for me anyway, it's not a door that you walk through. It's a constant struggle. My journey was not a pure quest. It was not a noble search for the truth. I wish it was. And, if it was, I'd be telling you all about it. But my heart was, at the time I became a Muslim, and it still is today, really a complicated mess of intentions and feelings. And it's really hard to tease out really what my intentions were at any one stage. So who is God? That really is the ultimate question, isn't it? For any non-Muslims here, and for any non-Muslims who may watch this, maybe no one will watch this, but if any do, I believe that you may in your life study philosophy, you may study science, you may delve into alternative religions. You can do that until kingdom come, and you'll just keep going around and around in circles. I truly believe that. I think it's really a fruitless pursuit in the end of the day. Not to say it's not beneficial to definitely read widely and to study widely and to take knowledge wherever you find it, but you will end up going around and around in circles. On the other hand, I don't believe personally that things such as evolutionary theory or other scientific theories can simply be laughed off. And I know some religious people laugh at those ideas. Personally, I don't, because they're very powerful ideas and people believe them for a reason. And I don't believe, for example, that the atheistic, the Christian or the Buddhist paradigms, I don't believe their ways of seeing the world are at all ridiculous. I myself had a certain paradigm. I was talking with Brother Al-Ahmad actually yesterday, surprisingly enough, about paradigms, about how we view the world. And before becoming a Muslim, I had a certain paradigm, a certain way that I viewed things, and I made sense of the world and put it into a larger picture. That obviously changed. I had a paradigm shift. Many people don't have paradigm shifts, and I think it's very, very dangerous to assume that people are less than you because you have a certain knowledge or you've been blessed with a certain system of belief which they don't have. For my non-Muslim brothers and sisters, I would like to say this. I would like to say that thing which you feel, and I'm sure you feel that, I'm sure everybody feels that thing in your heart, that thing which kind of flows with love, you can say, that thing is, in my estimation, that is Allah. That is Allah, His sign within you. And I think that the best way to search for the truth is, just in my opinion, this is all my opinion, by the way. I've done no research for this, I've consulted no scholars, I just made it all up, so it's just the opinion of a layperson, so don't take it too seriously. But in my opinion, you can really find that sign within yourself, that sign, that is God. If you think about that thing that we all have this idea that there is something of which there is no greater. There is some idea of which there is nothing greater than it. And the step is really just to go from, there's that idea that I have, or that feeling inside that I have, to recognize that is God, that is Allah. And I think that there is something within you, and I'm talking to non-Muslim people here, there is something within you that really belongs to this. I truly believe that for every human being. And I know I find it incredibly hard to explain, that's why I'm kind of mumbling and perhaps not making complete sense, but I just advise you to search within yourself. Forget about any conflict that you feel exists between science and God, or between the fact that we have a world full of suffering and we have a God that is we believe is good and loving. These worries that non-religious people, and look, in Australia, as I grew up here, most of my friends were nominally Christian, but I guess at the end of the day, weren't that religious. So religion, we can say, didn't play a big part in the lives of the people that I grew up with. It's not to say it doesn't play a big part in many Australians' lives, but it didn't for most of the people I knew. And the reason is often these things, that we perceive science to conflict with and just embrace God. And I promise you, this is for any non-Muslim person who ever sees this, as sincerely as I can, that if you do it, everything will become clear. I swear by that. For my Muslim brothers and sisters who are here, you probably were wondering about who told me about Islam and those sorts of things. So I would like to reflect on three very special people to me. The night I became Muslim, I was in Canberra. I was at the Masjid. I actually first started reading and talking with Muslims in Darwin. It's British saying, but I came back to Canberra because I grew up in Canberra to spend time with my family, and I became a Muslim in Yarrawonga Masjid. Moments before I bore witness to the unity of God, some of the Muslim brothers in the masjid were asking me, if I believed, am I sure? And what they wanted from me, and I completely understand this, was they just wanted a confirmation. They want just confirm that you believe. Okay, then brother, say the shahada. And mashallah, that's good that they were asking that. But for me, growing up in this era and in this modern culture, surrounded by all these ideas that require absolute certainty. To be sure means to know 100%. Basically, to see with your own eyes. That's what to be sure means. Are you sure you believe in God? To me, that means like 100%. It's almost like you've seen. We know we can't see God, but it's like that level of certainty. Now, I will be forever grateful to one young man. You probably know him, a lot of you. His name is Daniel, but when he converted, he changed his first name to Bilal. Now, he simply said this. He said, why don't you just say the Shahada? And the way he said it to me, I understood that he was basically letting me know that he understood where I was coming from. He understood. He understood that I had doubts in my mind still. I still had doubts. He understood that belief in God is something that grows and something that withers away. And he helped me, in that moment, he helped me overcome my fixation on absolute certainty. And in reality, when you reflect on it in reality, and if we are honest with ourselves, we have to admit that we can be certain about pretty much nothing. There's absolutely nothing we can. The famous French philosopher, René Descartes, he built his whole philosophy on doubting his own existence. And then he said, okay, how can I know I exist? Well, I think, the famous, I think therefore I am. And then he built from there and he went on. But his starting point was doubting his own existence, and he's the father of modern philosophy. So, there's doubt in everything, isn't there? Another man to whom I am sincerely indebted is a student from Libya by the name of Mustafa. I don't know if you know, but you know him very well. Who I met in Darwin. Now, to meet someone who is never perturbed, I'm a young guy, I didn't really have that many responsibilities, but still I was worried by things and upset about things. Here I have this friend who never flinches, never gets upset about anything. He's never concerned about trivial things. It doesn't matter to him. And to meet someone and spend time with someone like that, he's always tranquil. He always smiles. Never underestimate the power of a smile. A smile is a very, very powerful thing, especially when you're communicating across cultures, across religions. A smile communicates more than 1,000 words, in my opinion. My opinion, all of this is across. He always smiles. He always has time for me. And, that is a very special kind of dawah. We talk about dawah and what should we say when we are introducing Islam to non-Muslims. But, that was the kind of dawah which had an effect on me anyway. The last in my trio of guys is Al-Ahmad, who is my imam. For it was Adam who showed me what a human being can be, and I don't mean to flatter because he's here right now, but I had this realization that if my Imam Adam, is an echo of a man who walked the earth 1400 years ago, then I just started to think, who was that man? Who was that man? I mean, really, I mean, what kind of an amazing creation must he have been, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? And Adam, he showed me who the prophet was. Not by words. I never got endless words from Imam Adam about describing who the prophet was and what his character was like. I learned about the prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam through his character, through the character of my Imam. And he showed me also one very important thing, which sometimes gets lost when you delve into religion. And he showed me that love is much greater than fear. I mean, we fear as religious people. I mean, we believe that it is right and good to fear God, but he showed me that love comes first, which, is just an amazing thing. I've got a poem I wrote, so I'm going to say that. I just want to finish with a personal observation. The further this journey takes me, this journey into Islam and through Islam takes me, the less I am able to entertain doubt. My faith, it waxes and wanes, as I'm sure most of us, this is the same situation. But had this religion, this is my belief really, had this religion, Islam, not been from God, I would long time ago, I would have been overwhelmed by some major cognitive dissonance. Without doubt. I mean, you cannot go into some serious philosophy, religion, idea, whatever it is, without the dissonance just building up. Because you pick out things over time that just stand out as being wrong, or contradictory, or conflicting. And it's bound to happen because all those things are created, I believe, by human beings. And human beings are not perfect. Islam is the opposite. If I spend months without reading anything, and then I will go and read a book, a good book, because there's bad books out there too. It just removes doubts. I mean, I don't find things in the books which pile on doubts and make me uneasy. It's the opposite. And in my estimation, that is a proof of Islam. So I wrote a little poem. Come, dear brother, dear sister too. Let us counsel one another on what is good and true. You are like me from the family tree of west and east of all humanity. Please don't shy away from that light within. Don't let it fade. It can get so dim. What's life to you? Really, what's life to you? Are you chasing dreams that ephemeral flicker? Are you captive to means? Is it even possible to differ? Have you given up? Are you overwhelmed? Does it all seem too much? Best just not to dwell. Have you contracted out that fundamental role to seek and find out for yourself that you may be whole? Experts will talk till kingdom come, but to walk the walk, will they help you? Not one. Life's really too short, too simple, to simply gamble away on vague reports on the truth of the day. That thing you perceive, of which there is no greater, needs no narrative to believe. All other ideas came later. Look inside, dear brother, dear sister, and with God confide. Let yourself linger. Let go of your doubts. Let go. We are but one family, united in struggle, to overcome adversity, to make sense of this muddle. If you dare to trust a complete stranger, then accept you must that you have no Saviour. No Saviour but He, the intimate one who shaped you and me, and whose will shall be done. Thank you for listening.